So Naruto is one of the best manga slash animes of all time. And in my opinion, it gets a pretty unfair shake. It gets a lot of unfair criticism. Don't get me wrong, a lot of criticism is warranted. Like some common criticisms about the manga anime that people have is that there's a lot of filler in it, in the anime specifically, that, you get the same reoccurring themes. It's always Naruto coming in to save the day, basically. And I can see, people's point of view with that. Another criticism is that the power scaling in the show and in the manga is out of control, and I agree with that one. Especially towards the end of the series, some characters are basically characters that were not Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi. It felt like everybody else was just pretty much insignificant, and they had very little to offer in the main story and in the in the important battles. And I agree with that point. That's not entirely true, because there are some side characters like my guy and Sakura, for example, that played a well, I wouldn't consider Sakura a side character, but there are others like my guy who played an important role in the story. But in my opinion, like I said, this manga gets a lot of unfair criticism. This manga has some of the best fights in all of anime, really. There are some iconic fights like Sabuza versus Kakashi, Pain versus Naruto, Jiraiya versus Pain, My Guy versus Madara, Sasuke and Naruto. So there are some incredible fights in here. In my opinion, early Naruto, and by early I mean like the first 50 chapters, it had a different feel to it. Not only was the art style very unique, in my opinion, it had a very unique style to it that obviously as the series went on, it evolved and it changed. But I would have preferred if the manga stuck to the original artwork. There was just something very appealing to that artwork. Not only that, early Naruto had a level of violence and just intensity that was lost along the way. So I assume that this was, that the series got toned down a little bit in terms of violence and graphicness, to appeal to a broader audience. But again, you take a look at some of the fights that happened early on in the series, like Sabusa versus Kakashi, for example. That's the first one that comes to mind. And that fight is arguably one of the best in the series, and it had a level of violence that was not really replicated later on, right? In any other fight. I mean, the only one that I can kind of think of is Itachi versus Sasuke, that had a similar level, but I mean, it was nowhere near the level of Kakashi and, Sabuza. You had Kakashi, using his lightning blade. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't read the manga or watched the anime. Kakashi using his lightning blade and piercing Haku right in the chest, right? You had Sabuza completely incapacitated and had, he had to use his mouth and to use a kunai and just beat everybody up, basically. So that's something that I wish the series would have stuck with. That level of intensity and graphicness. It had a good mixture of violence. It wasn't over the top or anything like that, but so supposedly there's gonna be a remastered version of Naruto coming out soon. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but if a new and improved series comes out, with better artwork and just an improved version on the anime, I would welcome it. Again, Naruto is one of the best anime of all time. And like I said earlier in the video, in my opinion, it gets an unfair amount of criticism. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this amazing series. And again, if you haven't watched it or read the manga, I highly recommend it. I wouldn't recommend reading the new series or even watching the new series. Absolutely do not watch the new series, Boruto. The manga is decent, but overall, I would not recommend it. It's just way too inconsistent. There's some good moments to it, but overall, I wouldn't consider it something worth reading. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this amazing series. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos on topics that pique my interest, whether it be a video like this, talking about an anime, or a topic like the Giants of the Past or ancient technology. Topics that pique my interest. So if you consider yourself open-minded and you don't get triggered when somebody suggests something that's out of the ordinary, then this channel is perfect for you. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.